Hello and Merry Christmas. I hope you guys all had a fabulous Christmas. Ours was great. It was a very full few days, but it was wonderful. I'm happy to be back online with you guys. I'm just updating my screen here. Yeah, hopefully you guys have some time off now and get to relax in between Christmas and New Year's. This is always one of my favorite times of the year. Okay, where am I here? There we go. I love how much downtime. Oh, let's turn the sound off so I don't hear myself. I love how much downtime there is in between Christmas and New Year's. When my kids played sports, it was always my favorite time as well, time of the year as well, just because we were go all the time. And then between Christmas and New Year's, there was hardly anything going on, so it was lovely. Be sure to say hi when you pop in so that I know that you're joining us. And I'd love to hear how your Christmas went, what your New Year's plans are. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I know everybody has plans and stuff, so we're gonna do the usual. So we're gonna draw for the prizes from last week's Facebook Live. So that's what we created. I've got everybody's name in the bin here. Okay, and our winner is Shara. So I will pop those in the mail for you. Okay, and you know what? We are gonna do something a little bit different today because, good morning, Peggy. How was your Christmas? So we're gonna do something a little bit different today because I did not have time to plan anything. So I'm winging it this morning. And we're not doing any card making. I thought I would update you on my December album and maybe do a few pages in that. So yeah, it's gonna look a little bit different than it has in the past. But one of the things that I do love, oh, let me swipe the comments here. One of the things that I do love about documenting December is just reflecting on the Christmas season. And I found it really good this year. Although I haven't gotten too far into my album, I really felt that I needed it this year because I work in the crafting industry. Christmas starts so early. I start making Christmas projects, usually cards, or mostly cards, in August. So by the time December rolls around, I'm kind of tired of making Christmas stuff. Just a sec, let me comment or update. Check out the comments here. Shara, Christmas was fun. Not too many plans for New Year's. Just taking it easy. Yes, I love these quieter days too. Enjoyed having the family with us. Yes, it's always nice when everybody gets together. Good morning, Barb. Okay, so yeah, so I felt that I really needed to almost bring the joy back into Christmas this year, because by the time, like I said, I start Christmas in August, and by the time that December rolls around and my kids and my family is starting to get excited about Christmas, I'm kind of done with it. I don't feel like decorating. I don't like it. It's kind of sad, actually. So this year I'm using my my December daily album as kind of a way to bring the joy back into Christmas. And I haven't gotten too many pages done. I think I'm up to page 8 or 9, but I have been doing my journaling in a separate book that I will put in and add pictures and make it all pretty. So I'm gonna do a page or two with you today, but I thought I'd share a flip through of what I've got done so far. So it'll look a little bit different than Facebook Lives have in the past. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing. How was your Christmas, Barb? How was your skiing? You went skiing for a few days, didn't you? Okay. All right, so this is my December album, and I chose to do it in a Traveler's Notebook format, and I've been calling these Traveler's Notebook junk journals. I don't know if that's the right term, but that's what I've been calling them, because I basically put them together using products that I have on hand, and I use like a hodgepodge of things. Skiing was amazing. Blue sky, very few people. That's nice. Yeah, right before Christmas is probably the perfect time to go. This week, I would imagine it's a bit crazy in the mountains. So I gather a bunch of products together that kind of coordinate, because I'm all about coordination. And then I cut them down to size, and then basically I have a long reach stapler, and I just staple them down the center. And it starts off as a pretty plain, like it doesn't look like much when it starts. So it would look something like this, and it really doesn't look like much at all. So this is another one that I created as a sample for an upcoming class. So it's just a bunch of pattern paper. Sometimes I'll use some envelopes. This time I had a butterfly that kind of coordinated, so I added that in there. Just, you know, just a hodgepodge of things. And I love it because it allows me to use all of the great things that I have that I've set aside, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for. So I absolutely love these types of journals. Shara, you do too? You're looking forward to making more in 2019. Yes, they are so fun, and I don't know, I love how chunky they get, and with everything all sticking out. I don't know, I really like it. It makes me feel really artsy. I mean, what I do is it's very crafty, but to me it's not really artsy. It's just craft, and I mean, all I'm doing is basically stamping. The stamp is already designed for me. I'm stamping, I'm coloring, maybe adding a bit of color and putting papers together. But this, I don't know, this makes me really feel artistic. Okay, so flip it open, and I added a little calendar on here, which, you know, we don't have full days, especially now that the kids are older. We don't necessarily squeeze everything in like we used to before. And I like that. I like that our December is a little bit more laid back than it has been in the past. And then here, now one of the things that I decided to do this year was to take a class. It's called Journal Your Christmas. It's through Shamel Lane. And I just felt like I've done December albums for several years, and I just found that I'm always taking the same pictures. I'm always doing the same journaling, and I just felt I actually wasn't going to do it this year. And then I came across her class, and I thought, okay, let's try this. And she gives you a prompt each day. She runs from December 1st all the way to, I think it's January 6th. And she gives you different prompts, but she also goes into detail on different ways that you can look at that prompt. So it's gotten me to think about past Christmases and documenting past Christmases, and I'm not always talking about, well, I always kind of relate to this Christmas as well, but I don't know, it's just got me looking at Christmas a little bit differently, and I felt that I really needed that. So she has, her first prompt is you come up with your own, I can't remember if she called it like a mission statement, but kind of like your purpose for doing this journal. So this was mine, and this was where I talked about you know, bringing joy back into Christmas. So that's that. And then page 2, it was Advent. So I talked about our Advent calendar. Mom had given Jordan and I a David's Tea Advent calendar so that we could have a cup of tea together every day. And that lasted a few days, and then life got busy, and we have got lots of tea to catch up on. And then here, she talked about a gift. So I talked about my team members because we had our Christmas party early in December. And then 4 was a cozy Christmas. So we had set up our Christmas tree. So I talked about how cozy the Christmas tree all lit up at night makes me feel. I added in some crazy photos because my kids, whenever I ask them to take a photo, they can't be serious. 5, I can't remember what the prompt was for 5, but this was just I find during the year that it's very rarely, apart from dinner time, we always make a point of having dinner together, but apart from dinner time, we're very rarely all four of us in the same room. And we were all four of us sitting around the table, and everybody was doing something different. Marcel and Ethan were looking through flyers. Jordan was doing some research on something, and I can't remember what I was doing. But we were all sitting at the table, and I just loved that. It just felt like a great moment, so I snapped a photo. And then 6, I talked about Christmas cards and how I didn't have time or even really the desire to make a whole bunch of Christmas cards because I had been making so many. So I pulled from the beautiful samples that I had already made and from card swaps that I'd been given, and I used those cards. So I tucked in a photo of, or I added a photo of just a bunch of cards that I had pulled out. And then 7 here, there's not even a photo on this one. It's just all about the journaling. So this one, the title is Becoming Aware, and I did the 5 senses. So different things that, you know, what do you see at Christmas that makes you feel Christmassy? What do you hear? What do you smell? You know, that type of thing. So that's kind of like, I love that Shamel offered those kinds of prompts because it really makes you think about things that maybe you don't necessarily think about. And then 8, her prompt was the tree and setting up the tree, but I have a different, I don't have photos for that because I had put my tree photos earlier on, but I have a bunch of journaling to do about a conversation and some things that led up to or that occurred while we were setting up our Christmas tree. So I'm going to include those here. And then that's as far as I've gotten. So I'm going to start with number 9, and the prompt is treats. So first, before I do that, I've done a video. When I did this album, or when I created this album, I did another video that talked about my bin that I have set up. So this is basically my supply bin so that I can take it anywhere and work on it at any time. Not that I did that a whole lot this round, but I've went ahead and yesterday I printed off all my photos. I've kept a few bits of some gift wrap that I had, like anything that I've kind of collected over the course of the month. Here's a little gift tag. This was a candy wrapper. So just anything that I felt that I might want to use. Good morning, Mary Liz. I just kind of threw in this bin. And then I've got a small little portable paper cutter. I've got some washi tape and some other embellishments. I've pre-cut all my numbers. Those are in there. Pens, some chipboard elements. Someone had given me some gold sequins, so I included those. This is what I've been doing my journaling on. So this is a notepad that I received when I did a brush lettering class with Kelly Creates. Kelly Clapstein, I think that's her last name. And in the class we got several different products, but we got this notepad, and the paper is so soft, and it's a dotted grid, so it's really easy to write in a straight line. So I've been using this. It's perforated at the top, so I can just tear out a sheet and then just cut it down to size. So on my page 8, that's what's on there as well. So I've been doing my journaling on that, so that's in here. I've got some miscellaneous alphabet stickers, and then a pencil case with some pens and stuff. I've got some random pieces of paper, that patterned paper that kind of were left over after I cut down the paper when I made the album. And then I've got this seasonal word, it's occasions, small talk, word stickers. So those are always nice to add in as well. So this kind of has most of what I need, which makes it really easy. So let's see, let's move this out of the way. And we are going to pull out the photo. So like I said, treats were her prompt. So I've done my photos. I've done them in all sorts of sizes so I can kind of pick and choose, and so that I've got a little bit of variety through my album. So this is my photo for today, and this is a photo that I kind of printed off from the internet because I didn't have a photo that I had taken, because it wasn't until I read the prompt that I thought of this. So I believe it was when we were in Phoenix, we were in a shop, and I think it was World Market, but I'm not 100% sure. We came across some ribbon candy. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with ribbon candy, but it's kind of a, well, for me, it's a nostalgic candy because it is a candy that my grandparents always used to have at Christmas time, and I had completely forgotten about it. So when I saw her prompt of treats, like I commented, I think I was with my mom when we were walking through the store, and I said, oh, look, there's ribbon candy. I haven't seen that in years, but I didn't think anything of it. Hey, Shirley. And I didn't think anything of it afterwards. Well, I may have commented, remember Grandpa always used to have that out? And I just remember it as a kid, and even when I was living with them for a little while I was going to university, I remember he would still have it out, pull it out at Christmas. So when I read her prompt for day 9, and she started talking about treats, this popped into my head. So of course I didn't have a photo, so I went online and kind of printed one off. So this is what I'm going to include, and then I'm going to do some journaling on that and how and why that has meaning to me. And then I'm going to have a look here. Let's see what we've got in here that I can use. Okay. So this was, I get a scrapbooking magazine mailed to me every quarter. I think they send it out every quarter. And there was a little postcard in there, and it had this cute little image on it. So I cut that out. I thought it would be cute on there. So that might be cute on there. And I need a number 9. Let's see. Okay, the other thing I like to do, just because the pages are a bit bulky, is I'll use these clips to hold them down. So Shirley, we're doing something a little bit different today. Because I did not have time to plan a project for today, I thought I would just work in my December album. And I have nothing planned, so I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I've never really scrapbooked on camera before, so kind of feeling a little bit of pressure here. Okay, let's see. This is some adorable washi tape I got from a friend. Got the little trucks with the trees in it. So might use some of that. Let's see. Okay, let's try that. I need a little page for journaling. So I'll pull this out. Is anybody else documenting December? Did anybody else decide to do a December daily album or journal? Okay, and this will need to go a little bit smaller. Okay, still a bit long. Okay, so I think that's going to be how that looks. All right, so let's stick this on first. I've got some friends coming over this afternoon to craft for the day. We're doing a little potluck get together. So I'm excited. My plan is to finish this album. Well, finish it up till today. A lot of people, when they do December daily, they only do up until Christmas, but I do actually until the end of December. I figure you might as well document the whole month of December. And I know Chamel's Journal Your Christmas goes until after, or until January, but I don't think mine will go until January. I might just choose to do any journaling that I feel like doing from any of her future prompts, like her January prompts. I might just do that in my January 2019 album. I think this will go here. there. Oh, I need my title on there too. Let's see. Because I'm a stamper, I don't have a ton of alphabet stickers. Most of these are leftover from past kits, whether they're card kits or when we carried Project Life, they used to come with alphabet stickers. On occasion, we'll get a paper pumpkin kit that will have letters in there. Shara asked, do you set your past journals out? It must be fun to look back over them. I do. Last year, actually, we got an IKEA, oh, what do you call it? They used to be called Expedite shelving, you know, the cubed shelving. I think they're called Kallax now. So we got one of those for our living room, and I had a local lady put like a nice, to dress it up a little bit, she did a top for it and stained it to match a hope chest that we've got in our living room. And that is where I put all of our finished albums, and there's a basket with all of my past journals out. I've done this format for Christmas last year, but I've done this format for lots of travelers, like for lots of our trips. I've done them, and it's so fun to look back. So I have a little basket just on that shelf that you can go back and look through. And it is fun to look back, especially before you go and you do, especially if you're doing a December album. So before you go to do work on this year's album, it's nice to look back and see what you documented in the past, because it's so easy to just document the same thing over and over. And that's why I've really loved this class of Shamel's, because it's really prompted me to dig deeper into my journaling and just look at a different perspective. Okay, so let's see. Do I have TREATS? Perfect. Okay. How often does that happen when you have the right letters that you need? Figured this was my best bet because it was almost a full sheet. Have you ever done a December daily album, Shara? My scissors. So has anybody done any Boxing Day shopping? We tend not to do a ton, well, especially on Boxing Day, because we have a large event that we host on Boxing Day. But we did go out to Costco on Boxing Day, and let me tell you, Costco on Boxing Day is the best time to go to Costco. There was nobody there. And we got a seriously fabulous deal on a phone for Ethan, because Ethan has never had a phone before. He's only had an iPod. And it's becoming a little bit of a hassle for him to only be on Wi-Fi in order for us to be able to contact him, because he's getting busier and busier. And he is in grade 10, so, you know, it's time. He needed a phone, so that was going to be one of his Christmas gifts. So we decided to wait until Boxing Day to go out and get it for him. And he got the newest Samsung, and we got it, they actually paid us to take it, and we got a fabulous deal. We didn't get it, we didn't have to sign up for any data, which we didn't want. Jordan's in university and she still doesn't have data, because I just find that they don't need it. So yeah, I mean, we ended up getting more money than what the phone would have cost, and we got a fabulous deal for a monthly rate. And yeah, it was really good. So from now on, if you ever need a phone, go to Costco on Boxing Day to get a new phone, because they had some great deals. All right, so there's my page for the 9th of December. I will do my journaling about my grandpa and his ribbon candy on there. And I'm not sure that this actual prompt will actually be tied in. I might mention that I'll have to pick up some ribbon candy next time so that we can try it, because I don't even know if my kids have ever seen ribbon candy. So that'll be something that I'll have to make a note of to do for next year. Shara says, I'm thinking of doing it for this year. I also have a whole bunch of older photos from Christmases past that I would like to do something with. Yeah, it's so nice to be able to put everything, especially for a season, like everything into an album, and just even doing it afterwards, because then you can reflect back, right, on what was really important to you over the season. Okay, so that's my treats. And then my next page, so let's see, I've got some patterned paper and then a half sheet. This prompt was making a list, and what I did was, hey Kathy, how are you? How was your Christmas? This one, we're working in my December daily. I am so far behind, and I didn't get a chance to plan any projects for today, so I'm just winging it, and we're doing working in my December daily album today. Okay, so for this prompt, it was making a list. So I printed off, my kids sent me their Christmas lists. Jordan texted me, so I screenshotted her text, and then Ethan had used my phone and just typed in his list. So I screenshot that and printed that off. So I thought I would just include this here. But I have no idea. I have nothing. Let's see. We need to include some other stuff. We need some color. Let's grab some of my scraps here. Okay. Should we pull in some green? Or do we need some red? Well, I could do a pocket, but I think I have a pocket further on. Yeah, I have a pocket here. I could still do a pocket. That'd be cute to have those tucked in there. I could even cut them and do them as a tag and add. Let's see. So we could do that. And then tuck those in there. I like that idea. So we are gonna do that. Actually, no, you know what we're gonna do? I have, just a sec, I'll be right back. I have these little glassine bags. So, oh, this one might be a bit big. Let me grab the other size. Okay, so let's see. I could tuck these in here. I could make it a little shorter. I think adding a bit of color to the back would be good. Or will it fit in this? I think these ones are a little bit too small. That one's a little bit too small, so that one's out. Okay, so let's make this. I'm just thinking, I like the top of that, so I don't want, I want to add some color to the back. I like those two together, so let's measure this and find out how big it is. So if I did 3 1/8 by 4 1/2, I'll pull in my paper cutter. So let's see if this is the right size. Perfect. Okay, and that really doesn't serve too much of a purpose, except I liked the contrast. I like the contrast of that. And then these little gift lists can tuck in here. I think I might still make them as a tag, just so that they're easier to pull out. See, this is a bit finicky pulling these out. Okay, so I'm going to trim this. And here's a little trick. If you want the other side to be even, if you take that piece that you just cut off, flip it over upside down, and put it on this corner, and then trim. Then you have 2 even corners. And then this one I'm just going to use as a guide. So just like that. And then in my little bin, I've got some ribbon. So we'll use some red, or some twine. So we'll use some red. Do I have any other colors in here? We'll use red and this braided trim. Grab my hole punch. And then I'll feed these through. So let's use this one. So I'm just going to fold this in half and feed it through. And then I'll pop these 2 through this loop. And then pull it tight. So that will just give me something to grab to make these little tags come out a little easier from that pocket. And then I'll do the same with this one. Don't need it quite as long as it is. Trim those. So then those can just slide in here like that. Yeah, I like it. I might stitch along the bottom just so that it's a little shorter. And I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna add some accents on here. So let's see here. We've got a little strip of that left that I can include on there. We've got our number, which I need the numbers 1 and 0 because we're doing number 10. There's a 1. So I could include that on there. On there. I do find when you add some dimension like that, that it makes it hard when you write on the next page. So sometimes what I do is I leave these off until the album is completely finished, and then I'll go back and add, you know, anything that has any kind of dimension. So I might go back and add some enamel circles or some buttons, you know, anything like that. These are easy enough that you can just pull out when you're doing the journaling. Okay. So I think that will go like that. And then I need my title, and it will be Making a List. So L-I-S, we've got no T's left on this, but I think I have another sheet. Yes, I have another sheet here. So it will be Making a List. Do the word list right here. So let's do that. Take the T. Oh, let's do the L first. Okay, so L I S and T. Okay, so like I mentioned, I am going to stitch along the bottom just to give that so that these don't fall down any further. So I'm going to stitch right under there, and then this is going to go over top. I think I'll add that on there, and I might actually do another layer. I feel like it still needs some contrast in behind, so I might put like even just a layer of that behind. And then I probably won't use this. Maybe I'll use the red. All right, so I can't really go any further until I stitch that, but that's kind of, I'll post a photo once it's done so that you guys can see it. But that's kind of what I'm thinking for number 10. So I think that's going to be all for today. Like I said, I've got some friends coming over around noon, which is like 20 minutes away, to do some scrapbooking for today. So that's going to be fun. And hopefully I will get the bulk of this album done, and I will share pictures. Maybe I'll share pictures of some of the layouts throughout the day. So I hope that you guys all had a fabulous Christmas. Thank you so much for joining me. The next time we do this, we will be in 2019, which is crazy. Have a safe and happy new year. And I look forward to sharing crafting with you in the new year. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.